Hello, people. Yet another interesting day on YouTube. I'm here with my partner. I was supposed to take off again today. Yesterday, you had something exciting come out. Today,
Hmm.
something exciting is coming out. And what is that excitement? Michael Franzese fires back at Joey Merlino. Can you believe it, James?
Yeah, I mean that's something that I was wondering what would happen. Normally, Michael's not one to respond back to criticism or whatever, but I was thinking that if he didn't respond, then that would look weak, and plus he's got 1 million followers, right? I just think they would expect him to respond regardless of how you feel
Yeah.
about the situation. But I know that he did a response, and I
And
have
it wasn't
not
even a,
seen it.
right. Right. Everything I'm showing you here is new, right?
Yes, it
Well,
is.
one thing we have somebody that was involved in this who contacted us, and we're going to
Yes.
drop some information that he gave us.
Yes.
You talked to him today, so we
Yes.
have somebody involved in this whole thing that we're going to talk about your phone call with him today and show you what he gave you, and
Right.
we're going to confirm that someone's telling the truth.
Hmm.
So, and I'm gonna play. I don't want to take a chance of playing the video and getting struck, so I'm just gonna play the voice of what
Okay.
Michael Francis said today. But I'm gonna tell you why. We're hard on Michael Francis, and he fires back. But here's the thing: uh, Joey went after his father, and once you do, and we did a poll on this, and we're gonna show the poll too, what people think. But let's do this.
Okay.
All sorts of stuff. There's a lot of things that go on. A lot of people talk. A lot of it. Can you hear that? Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Is not true. A lot of it is exaggerated. A lot of it is made up. I just let it go. It's not important. And I've been able to build this platform because of all of you and all of my supporters. But I appreciate those of you who contacted me this morning about this because kind of draw the line when they come after my family and they say things that are just absolutely not true. So let me tell you what happened. Joey Merlino, who a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, whatever it might have been, decided to join the YouTube platform. When I heard about it, I spent 2, 3 minutes and welcomed him aboard the platform and said something nice about it. I don't recall exactly what it was, but basically welcomed him aboard the platform. What's come to my attention today that a young man by the name of Justin sent a direct message, I believe, to Joey Merlino, and Joey took it upon himself to read it during his podcast recently. I think it was in the last day or so. And basically, what this young man said was that he was my attorney, and that he thought it would be nice if Joey and I were to get together, and he would come on my podcast for an interview. Now, let me make this clear. I haven't spoken to this young man for at least a year. I haven't communicated with him by text, email, social media, in any other way. He used to work for my wine company in Michigan, and that ended about 5 months ago. Nice young man, thought he was doing a nice thing. And look, people in that life understand. You try to get in somebody's good graces. Maybe, hey, Michael, you know what? I got in touch with Merlino. He wants to come on your platform, whatever. He thought he was doing a nice thing. He's not my attorney. Joey, for some reason, read this, thought it was appropriate to read this, and said that he was my attorney representing me. And in there, he said that it would be nice if he came onto my platform. Obviously, this young man was mistaken because he thought he was sending this to somebody with class. Obviously, that's not the case. Now, Joey took it upon himself to call me a rat, which is okay. I've heard all of that. I've explained there's nothing more to talk about that. Call me whatever you want in that regard. But then he went on to talk about my father. And what he said about my father is this. He said, for Sonny Franzese to associate with his son, because he said that I paid my father's bail, I picked him up when he came out of prison, that my father, Sonny Franzese, must be a rat also. Now, let me tell you this, Mr. Merlino, you couldn't shine my father's shoes on his worst day. My father was one of the most stand-up guys ever in that life, and everybody knows it, even every one of your associates, and you know it also. So what you said was so totally out of line. And you know what? You would never in a million years say that to my father's face. Of course, we know that. I don't think he'd say it to my face. And if you want to, just let me know. I'm here, not going anywhere. Okay, but to call my father a rat, my father associated with me because maybe he knows more about my situation than you do. Maybe the Colombo brass, the people that mattered, know a little bit more about what I did or what I didn't do than you do. But you feel it appropriate just to shoot your mouth off and call people names. Like what you say about me, I could care less. You don't mean anything to me. But what you said about my father, who are you kidding? My father, again, was the most stand-up guy in that life. Took 50 years on the chin and never opened his mouth about any.
Okay, there's still a little more to play.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that that's pretty powerful stuff coming from Michael, ain't it?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that it's powerful. It's the way he approaches it is he approached it. I know he's angry, but he didn't wasn't yelling and screaming. But yeah, I mean, his approach to it is I think pretty powerful.
So when we like Joey Merlino's show, but it's our job to report what we feel and what people are saying. So what I did, as soon as he made that comment about Joey, two things. You spoke to Justin, is that correct?
Justin reached out to me yesterday. Yeah, and then we had a conversation too. So we had a text, and then
we're going to discuss all that. I just wanted to put that out there, people. James spoke to Justin. In a couple of minutes, he's going to tell you what Justin says, and we're going to show you what Justin sent us.
Yeah, and he sent you some stuff too just this afternoon. You might not have seen it, so
I'll check that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Justin has reached out, and he has proven that what has been said by Michael is the truth.
Yeah,
and I'm going to show you why we know it's the truth. Okay, right. But also when the show, so when Joey Merlino came out and attacked, basically went after Sonny Franzese, I said, something. This is not. I don't think this is good because we know that in this genre, Sonny Franzese is considered like maybe the most liked gangster in here.
Yeah.
Very rarely do you hear something negative about him. So I put a poll up, and in the poll, I'm going to show you the poll right now. Okay. And this was put up. It's about 1,000. This is about 1,000 votes right here. It's 918. Now it's up to 1,000. This took this out before. So it says Joey Merlino said that Sonny Franzese was no better than Michael Franzese because Sonny still associated with them after they ratted. Do you agree or disagree? 28% agreed with Joey Merlino. 56% thought it was wrong. 17% said they don't have an opinion. So if you put those numbers together, that means that 75% of the people don't agree with that statement made. Well, not 70, 73%, 72%. Yeah. Damn, my math going. Okay, so 72% don't believe with that statement that Joey Merlino made. Do you believe that sometimes you got to be careful? And it doesn't matter who you are. Okay. Do you believe that you got to be careful when you're going after a guy like Sonny Franzese?
Yeah, exactly. So, when you look at someone like Sonny Franzese, that's, universally he's, liked. Even people that might not even like Michael, they like Sonny Franzese. And, I've never heard anything negative about him. Definitely never anything that he was an informant. Never even heard criticism about him, having a relationship with his sons after what happened. And so, I think too is that, maybe I'm not saying it's a past, but, he was 100, over 100 years old. Where does that fit in? Does he, I'm sure he was tired, at the end of his life. And so does he want to have that relationship? Was there even any issues with the family? It sounds like that the Colombos didn't have any issues with that. I don't know.
And James, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
Didn't Sonny tell the Colombos that it was up to them whether they wanted to take his sons out?
Yeah, that's my understanding from what I've read.
On both of them.
Hmm.
He did tell the Columbos that.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
that's what I've read.
And,
Yep,
and that's a known fact.
research. Hmm.
He went to a meeting with his father, and he talks about that, Michael. And then he also, same thing with his other son. I mean, his other son literally went into the program because he knew that they wanted to kill him.
Right.
So it's not like he was hiding them or something. The man spent a lot of time in prison. And this is very important, people. I'm a father of 2 sons. Okay? If you have a son, no one can tell you somebody what they're going to do. That's your son. You got sons that Jeffrey Dahmer was a horrible serial killer.
Hmm.
Father still went to see him in prison.
Yeah.
It's your son, and
that's where the difficulty is that you get some people that, let's talk. I want to mention omerta just for a second because, omerta, what that is or the oath, actually. What they say is that you have to put the life, before your family, before God, before anything else. And, that's true. That's the oath. I don't agree with it, but that I'm not a gangster. So, but I don't know how many people would really, very few people would really,
walk away
not
from their
want to
son.
have a relationship with their son,
You're talking
if
about a
there's,
man and sons.
yes.
That's what you're talking about. And if you don't have sons, you don't know that bond, that special bond.
Yes, exactly.
Just like a mother would have with a daughter. There's a
Yes.
special bond there.
Yes,
But
exactly.
anyway, that's just we're just putting that out there. Let me play because we're gonna. So Justin has talked to us about this, and
Mhm.
right after we play the rest of this and this what Michael has to say, we're gonna talk about what Justin told you.
Right.
Okay?
And everybody knows that. So who are you to say something like that? Really? And let me tell you something. If my father had something to say to you, he wouldn't be saying it to a bunch of people on social media. He would say it directly to your face, as I would. Absolutely. So I don't know where you're coming from. And like I said, I don't know this young man, and he sent you a following DM. Why don't you read that? Read that. And let me tell you something also. Don't flatter yourself, my friend. I don't need you on social media. Maybe you haven't been paying attention to what's going on. I don't need you. I wished you luck when you came on board. I didn't realize you were a classless guy. I thought you were a guy with class. And let me ask you this. If you still are involved, and I have no idea, nor do I care, what are you doing on social media? You wouldn't see my father on social media. You wouldn't see me on social media if I was still part of that life. What are you doing on social media? Answer me that. Never do I ever respond to any of this stuff because obviously, too, there are other people, that immediately picked up on what you said this morning. And, Joey Merlino smacked me down and all of that. You're not smacking me down when you're talking on social media, Joey. You know that, and I know that. And let me tell you about Sammy Gravano. He's my friend, like it or not. I'm not interested in what he did before. I like Sammy now. I like his family, and I don't care who knows it or who disagrees with it. That's how I feel. Whatever happened before. None of my business. Didn't involve me, and that's it. I don't appreciate the fact that guys get on social media and they start talking about everybody, and other people just can't wait to bring other people down. They jump on it like it's oxygen. It's unbelievable. It really is. And you know what? It's quite pathetic. Because if you got nothing good to say about yourself, if you can't bring yourself up and make something out of this platform on your own merit, you probably even shouldn't be on here. If you got to use other people to make yourself important, shouldn't be on here. I don't come on here and talk about other people negatively because that doesn't prop me up. It doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't do anything for me. So let me just leave you with this, Joey. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Okay? I'm not impressed with you. I'm not interested in your talk. But let me tell you something. Before you make remarks about my father, know what you're talking about, really. Because if you're still on the street, there's going to be people that are pretty much offended by that. Nobody can say a disparaging word about my father as far as him being a stand-up guy. And let me respond again. If my father was close to me afterwards, and he was, despite all the nonsense that's going on out there, then maybe he knows something that you and everybody else don't. Maybe the Colombo Brass, yeah, my former family, maybe they knew something about what I did or didn't do that you don't, and that the rest of the world don't, and that I don't have to tell anybody. It's nobody's business what went on between me and my father and the brass in the Colombo family during that time. I'm going to leave it at that. So you do what you want with this, Joey. Do whatever you want. You know what? I don't like to make, and I don't try to make enemies, and I'm not going to consider you my enemy. You can consider me whatever you want, but I'm going to answer to this the first time I ever responded to anything like this, because you don't go off and say things about my father that are absolutely untrue. And once again, I'll say it and I'll leave it with this. You couldn't shine my father's shoes on his worst day. Take care, everybody.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, so I have to agree with him on that. Going after the father, that's a problem. And the other issue I had was just, I think it was premature for him to read the exchange that he was having with Justin. I'm not sure I think I would have held off on that. It's just,
and we're gonna get into the exchange.
Yeah. So that was kind of the two areas that I had issues with. But yeah.
Well, here's the issue I had with Michael. Michael said, "I'm friends with Sammy." Sorry, Michael. Franzese. That's a very horrible man to have as a friend. If you were gonna go after Joey Merlino, you kind of messed it up by ending that show praising what a good guy or whatever Sammy Guevara was, because there's a lot of people that don't agree with you, including the Kaiser family, are innocent people that
right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
no,
that
Sammy,
could have been left out. Yeah,
that should have been left out, Michael. If you did the show, you should have left Sammy out of it, because that's where the whole thing goes ugly. It's just ugly. You have a lot of people that are listening to that, Michael, and I know that Michael listened to our show, because our show was titled that Joey Merlino delivers the smackdown.
Yeah, right.
So, and he said he smacked down. So we know that Joey listens to us on a regular basis.
Yeah, and Michael, yeah.
We know that Michael listens to us on a regular basis. Okay, so Justin contacted you.
Yes.
And Justin is the guy that started this whole thing, man-to-man thing. But we're going to put up, this is the text right here.
And we have permission. He gave this to us and actually said we could put this up.
Okay, this right here, on top right here, you see Joey's response that he read on the show, where he said that, this is what we can read, to make him visit him and pick him up from jail when he got out of his last bid and his bail, and put his bail up and send him commissary. So in my opinion, if you condone your son being a rat, you're just as bad as him. The minute he said that, I said, boy, this is going to go ugly. And it did go ugly, because a lot of people, especially people in here, are kind of upset with it.
Yeah.
And okay, so the second part is what he writes to Joey. He wanted Joey to see this. Is that correct?
Yes, he wanted Joey to see this, and he said we could use this text, put it up on the community page, whatever we wanted to do to try
how did Justin contact you?
So we were connected in LinkedIn business connection, and so that's how he initially contacted me, and then my contact information is there once you're connected. And so then he sent a text, and I thought he was someone that booked for Michael, because I had reached out to him on a couple of things, but previously. But anyway, he's actually that's how he reached out to me, is we connected on LinkedIn, and then my phone number's there, and he sent me a text yesterday, and then I called him back. He asked if I could call him back. Said it was Justin.
He sent you this screenshot right here
Yeah, he sent this later, to send to you and to send to Joey because he reached out to us because another reason is that he knew that he wanted to know if we knew Joey or we were close to Joey, and I said that you were closer to the people, Joey's team, than I am, and
and the reality is we're not close to Joey. The reality is that he has given us permission as long as we use his link to use some of his property.
Right. You know how to get a hold of it. It's kind of
I know how to get a hold of it.
Yeah, that was what I was saying, and so that's what he was hoping maybe. And plus, we have a big platform that kind of transcends both sides of this thing, and that was another reason to reach out to us.
And so this is what Justin wrote to. This is what Justin wrote to Joey. He wrote,
yes.
Joe, I'd like to clarify a few things with you. I'm not an attorney, and I do not represent Michael Franzese in anything other way than his wine brand. I made a mistake reaching out to you about his podcast before checking with Mr. Franzese first. He did not know I was reaching out to you. Again, he never suggested in any way that he wanted you on his podcast. That was strictly a suggestion on my part, and clearly that was a mistake on my end. So that's pretty much what he has to say, Justin, right?
Yeah, and Justin wanted to, I'm not sure what was, kind of behind the scenes on it, but Justin was hoping to kind of maybe set this up or kind of a surprise, or maybe it's definitely a surprise, but positive. He was thinking, well, I'll get, this would be, Michael would appreciate it because what Justin had said is a couple of months back that Michael had did a show and he welcomed Joey Merlino to YouTube or social media, and then said some positive things, and so he thought that it might be cool to get both of them together. And I don't think that Justin understood all the dynamics. I don't think he's obviously knows Michael. I don't think that he's a mob history guy or any of that. He just was thinking that he could it would look good in Michael's eyes if he could set up this reunion.
And I have just opened my email, and I do have an email from Justin. I'm not going to say his last name, but he said, great meeting you both. I've attached a screenshot and a message I sent out to Merlino to clarify. He was very out of line with how he put it out there and reacted. James had mentioned a couple things to get this resolved, and he has reached out to Michael to smooth things out. It was my mistake reaching out to Merlino directly without Michael knowing about it. I never want to make Michael look bad in any way. I only represent his wine here in Michigan. A lot of what Merlino was saying was taken out of context, and we'd like the audience to know it did not come from him. Okay, so Justin, you wanted us to put it out there. It's out there now, and we can't do it much more than that. So the fact of the matter is, this is something that got ugly real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, my belief is just that, if you have something that somebody sends to you, especially a text, this is the problem with YouTube. People take this thing and they put personal information, conversations like that out, and he didn't want to be mean. And it turned out that Michael Franzese is telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got this in a text, and he sent this out right away. And this is what happens. People, they do try to do this all the time. It happens. But what would you like to say, closing this out in general?
Yeah, I mean, it's a couple of things. It's just, to me, Joey, it'll be interesting what happens with this. I don't think either side. I think that, so the million or so people that follow Michael, I don't think they'll be swayed by what Joey said. As far as people that follow Joey, you know, I don't know if he'll really, I don't know what that blowback will be. But it seems like that people like Joey don't like Michael and vice versa. So, you know, I don't know at the end of the day what will happen. You know, the only thing I would say on Michael is just that Sammy, bring up Sammy, you know, that's he did.
Yeah. You really hurt that statement coming back when you brought up Sammy. That's what I thought. I thought it was great up to that point.
Well, and
Sammy
I think you remember even with Dominic Shikali, it kind of happened the same way, you know, when we interviewed him. It's just he's polarizing, and not many people like him. If anyone that knows what Sammy did, you know, but yeah, I know this isn't about Sammy, but you know that I'm just saying the statement could have been even more powerful if Sammy.
And Michael Franzese, you have to remember that you made a statement on Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson that on John Gotti's worst day, Sammy Gravano couldn't beat him.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that, I don't know why you're so committed to him. God bless you.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, we're gonna close this out, but I just wanted to let you know what was going on. A lot of interesting stuff going on in the mob genre. The mob genre is not dead, people. It's it's in its infancy. That's what it is. Those people that say it's dead or it's stupid, they don't even know what they're talking about. This stuff always happens. With that, I like to say thank you. And wait a minute, I forgot to do this. I knew it. I didn't run nothing here. Okay. Please subscribe. Hit the like, the reminder bell. Thank you. If you want to donate, feel free to donate. There it is. It's all right there underneath. Okay. Also, please join Angel Gotti and My Father's Daughter Patreon. The link will be below this. We are part of that also. So if you want to join Patreon, feel free to join. And also, we have a wrestling channel. Subscribe to our wrestling channel. And there it is right there. Everything will be underneath here that we do. Okay, but with that, people, I like to say thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoy the show.